Boom guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mamadou Diallo, and if you're new into this channel guys, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out every single time I put out new content. This channel is all about helping you start making money in real estate today. Guys, in the real estate space, I've done it all except multifamily, which I'm moving into now. But guys, I've done fix and flips, buy and holds, wholesaling real estate, raising private capital. All the properties that we buy, we never use none of our own money. Right now, I'm actually sitting in the Airbnb that we own that brings us about $10,000 to $11,000 a month. And I bought it with none of my own money, no credit, no credentials, no license. And most importantly of all, bought it with none of my own money. All right, guys, but on today's episode, specifically, we're going to talk about what is a wraparound mortgage. I get asked this question all the time. Hey, Mamadou, I'm following you on Instagram and all these other social media platforms. You guys keep talking about this strategy called wraparound mortgages, right? You do this exit strategy called a wraparound mortgage. What is this thing? Why are you even doing it? How do you get these deals? Whatever. Guys, today I'm going to answer that question. So, what is a wraparound mortgage? First and foremost, a wraparound mortgage, guys, is you saying screw you to the bank. You're saying screw you to the bank the same way they've been screwing you all these years. Think about this. When you have a $10,000, right? You take that $10,000 and you put it in the bank, and you put it in a savings account or a checking account, doesn't really matter. What does Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all these banks, what do they do with your money? They take your $10,000 the next minute, right after you deposit that money. It doesn't stay there. Okay, guys? They take that money and they lend it to somebody else, a stranger that you don't even know. They lend it to them. They get a return, 10%, 12%, whatever the number is, 4%, 15%, really doesn't matter. But they get a return on your money. And guess what they never do? They never actually share that return with you. If you leave that $10,000 from January to December, the only return you're going to get from the bank is between 1 cent and 3 cents. Is that a return? Okay, so they screw with you when it comes to your money. Do not trust the banks with your money. Stop trusting these banks with your money. They're completely irresponsible with your money. They don't care about you. Everything they tell you is a lie. Everything you've been taught in school is a lie. Okay? Stop it. What is a wraparound mortgage? It's essentially you doing the same thing to the bank. What you're doing is you're screwing the bank. Okay? So, what you're doing is, once you find, I'm not going to go over, guys, this video would be part of a series on all things creative finance. So I have other videos where I've explained how we find these leads, how we call them, what we say to them, how do we convert them from cash to creative finance, how do we buy this property subject to. Okay, so in order for a wraparound to work, you have to buy the property subject to, meaning there have to be an existing loan already in place. Okay, guys, a wraparound is you saying the bank screw you. You have an existing loan. I'm taking that over. I don't have to go qualify for it. Why? Because the seller have to leave the loan on their name, and you just become responsible for the monthly payments. You take over title and deed. You own the property, and the loan stays on that seller's name. So you never go inside the bank, qualify for the loan, show your credit, your pay stubs, credentials. You don't need a dang license, right? On top of that, if you're smart like me, you go and grab private lenders that hand you their money and you buy the property with your money. You use somebody else's money to pay your closing costs, cash to seller, renovate, furnish, design, whatever, depending on what your exit is. Okay, guys? So a wraparound mortgage is you take over a loan that you never have to go and qualify for. You take over existing loan, and what you do is you turn around. So let's say, for example, you're taking over, which we have a lot, like this property that I'm sitting in right now is a VA loan that we took over. We took over the VA loan. The loan remained on the seller's name. I never had to go qualify for the loan. So that loan obviously already have an existing interest rate. Now, if my exit strategy, by the way, guys, as a real estate investor, you never buy on a wraparound mortgage. You only exit on the wraparound mortgage. Buying on a wraparound mortgage is only homestead buyers. If you see a property listed out there and the term seems to be like is a wraparound terms, do not touch it. It's not for you an investor. It's for a homestead buyer, and you'll understand in a minute why I'm saying that. So here's how you screw in the banks. Existing loan, you don't have to qualify for it. You take it over. Like for example, I'm sitting in the property right now where the loan is a VA loan, so there is already an existing interest rate. what I'm doing is I'm creating my own interest rate after I take possession of the property. Let's say that the interest rate here is 2.75%. I'm creating my own interest rate on top of the existing bank interest rate, right? So I'm going and finding a family that want to have home ownership and cannot qualify with the banks, cannot qualify with Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all these banks. Why? Because they have no credit, or they have negative credit, or they have very bad credit. So every lender is telling them, no, we don't want to lend you. No, we don't want to lend you money. No, we don't want to lend you money. No, we don't want to lend you money. So they would love to have home ownership. They keep paying rent. They're tired of paying rent. They want to own their home. You go find these families and you provide them housing. And the way to do that is you screw the banks. Tell them, screw you, okay? So you take over the existing loan. Let's say the loan is 2.75%, the existing loan that you took over. You add your own interest on top of it. So I find that family that don't have good credit, but they do have the cash, they work, they have the income. I finance the property to them. They'll give me a down payment and make me monthly payments as me, the bank. Now I'm putting myself in the same position as Wells Fargo or the VA loan that's in place. Doesn't matter who the lender is. So I finance to the family, which we have a bunch of these properties that we've done, guys, that we finance to families. So we're just a bank, right? So you finance to the family. So you took over a loan that have a 2.75% interest rate. You finance to the family at 7, 8, 9%, depending the state, right? And depending the location, right? So you finance it to them at 7, 8%. So you add your own interest on top. That's why it's called a wrap. It's very little, right? You're taking your own terms and you're wrapping it on top of Wells Fargo's terms, okay? So you add your interest on top of it and you add your own equity. Let's say the property that you're taking over is only worth, at the time right now, is only worth, like the one I'm sitting in right now is worth $500,000, the way it is right now. If I'm taking this property and I'm financing it to a family, guess what? Because I'm coming their bank, because they don't have good credit, I can finance it at a higher dollar amount. And also because I'm giving them 7 years, 10 years, 30 years, 20 years, whatever to pay me off, I'm obviously not going to finance it to them at $500,000. I'm going to finance it to them $500,000 plus whatever equity I add on top of that. So now I go out of my way and create my own equity. Again, screwing the banks. Okay? I add my own equity and I become the bank. Now, they're not paying Wells Fargo, they're not paying Chase, they're paying me. Okay, they pay me and then I pay the bank, and whatever is left between the difference between what the underlying bank loan is and what I'm charging them on my own interest and on my own equity, that's my net cash flow. So I'm cash flowing on top of the bank's money, making money on top of the bank's money, and not sharing none of the returns with the bank. So I'm screwing them the same way they've been screwing me. You understand? Shh, don't tell them, don't tell them. Okay? So that's what a wraparound is, guys. That's what a wraparound is. Why is my cash flow net? Because I'm the bank. I'm not a landlord. I finance the family. This home is their home. The same way that my seller here had a VA loan. When the toilet leaked here, or he had an AC unit problem, or he had a deck problem, or he had a flooring problem, he had to fix it himself. He cannot call his VA bank and say, hey, come and fix my house. The bank don't care. They just want that moolah, them pesos. Right? They don't care. Okay, guys? So that's why that exit strategy is so powerful. It's number one, you said the bank screw you. You've been screwing me, so let me screw you. On a loan you don't own, you don't have to qualify for. Secondly, you turn around and you make money on top of their money now, on top of their interest. And then you don't have any landlord headaches. Why? Because it's their home. They have to fix the leaks, the toilets, deal with it. You don't care. You're just the bank, just collecting the money, collecting the moolah, the pesos. Pay me on time, baby. You see what I mean? So it's net cash flow. Why do you use this exit strategy? Guys, watch my other videos on this series. I have other videos. I have another video that I've already made on wraparound mortgages and explain exactly when do we use this exit strategy. Remember, this is not a buying strategy. It's not an acquisition strategy. It is what? An exit. And when you exit, you know what I mean? When you're going outside of the door, is an exit strategy. All right, guys? I hope this made sense to you. So now what you need to start doing, start taking freaking action and go screw the banks and start collecting net cash flow. with them dollars, them pesos, man. That green, baby. You know what I mean? Start collecting that cash flow and become the bank today and start providing housing to all these families that cannot qualify with these big banks, Chase, Wells Fargo, whatever. Tell them. All right, guys. So until next time, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know if this was helpful to you. And if there is anything else, any questions you have, put it in the comments below. My team will put it on my plate. And guess what? I'll create a video specifically to answer your question. So until next time, stay bold, be bold. Boom, 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 guys. See ya.